Welcome back to the best NFT show in the gosh dang world. We're coming at you hot with the latest NFT news from around the industry. We are live in LADZ City. I just got some ramen. Buffalo's just coming from the dollhouse per usual. Someone talked to him about that. We're going to have ourselves a good episode here, man. We've got some good things to talk about. Some awesome projects being built now. I know we had that big run-up last month, but we're seeing a lot of projects actually continue working, which is exactly what you want to see. But I want to see what's going on with my main man, Buffalo, down there. Buff, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What up, man? Come on down to the dollhouse. 2-for-1 specials on Wednesdays and Fridays, which is LADZ Day for some of you OGs here. If you're brand new, welcome. This is NFT Live. We do this twice a week because we crazy like that, and so is the space. This is all in LADZ City. After this show, we go back to LADZ City. That's where we hang out in our Discord. We also got a metaverse in the Uplift world. Shout out to Small Town Cowboy for designing the very first LADZ City and the metaverse. And there's going to be many more, man. We're just getting started here. It's not a new haircut, llama. It is actually just my hair pulled back. I was able to do that yesterday, celebrating 420. I just pulled it all back. My eyebrows started pulling back too. I was like, oh, Jesus. And so probably give me a tension headache halfway through the show, but it's damn worth it. So I don't have to wear those damn headbands like a tennis player anymore. But hey, man, feeling good. How about yourself, brother?
I mean, you're Buff. You're looking good. You know, don't take that the wrong way, but you're looking pretty good there. Guys, I'm feeling good. We got 37 of you. We just pressed the live button. We got 38 people here in the house, so we're excited for this episode. Tigbo's asking if it's 50-cent wings tonight. So I don't know about that, but I do have a quick thing I want to show up on the screen because we want to give a shout out to Florian from the Drippyverse, man. Florian, you absolutely killed the LADZ Drippy little sale that we had, man. That was amazing. I believe Deep Wang Jr., yes, his name is Deep Wang Jr., won the 1,000 LADZ that was inside his Drippy. So we sold that out in, I believe, under 24 hours easily, even with the gas fees that we were dealing with. And there are going to be a lot of things coming for people who own this NFT, man. It was so exciting. This was our first NFT drop, and we blew it out, man. It was so awesome, and I know Florian is ready to come back and do it again in a couple months, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was exciting, and it's just one of many. I look forward to so many NFT drops that not only do we work with the creator, but we facilitate utility afterwards. We're not just, shilling out random things that are just going to sit there in your wallet. We're really going to try to put these NFTs to work. As you guys know, it's all about being creative in this space with NFTs. And yeah, man, Florian, well done. I'm very excited to see the next version of another LADZ Drippy down the road. I know this one is the male one. Apparently, there might be a female one down the road. So they go on a little date in the dollhouse. I'll reserve the table for him. We'll make it work.
I guarantee they know Buffalo's name at this point, right? They got to know Buffalo's name in the dollhouse at this point. There is one in LADZ City as well in the Uplift. We're still waiting on some updates there before we do anything with the land sales and all these things. But eventually, we're going to be fully metaverse heavy with all of the different LADZ cities from around the metaverse. But Marty McFly is saying best drop of the month. That definitely the best drop of the month. There were a few others. We can touch on Boys of Summer here in a second, but I do want to go live, Buff. I do want to go live straight from the NFT district where the wax sale was happening. And guys, you were packing the NFT district because this wax MLB sale was yesterday. Everyone was so excited. We knew there were going to be some issues, and I want to go live.
My God. What has that gone down?
Guys, what did you do to the city? Listen, this is Q Connor coming to you from 2142. They told us not to use credit card. They told us that there weren't going to be any issues. But there were issues. We lost a lot of LADZ yesterday. Some LADZ took some hits. Some LADZ have a few more MLB packs than they wanted. But I'm going to need somebody to come over here and clean up this part of the city. Come on, guys. Carrots is in there somewhere. I'm sure he's buried under 2 miles of cities, miles of MLB packs. He's, a big whale now. I think he bought like 20 packs on accident. But guys, come on. Take care of our city. What happened here yesterday? We will rise again.
The NFT district took a hit. That was beautiful, bro.
It was so pristine. The drippy sale was having it clean. It looked like the middle of Tokyo, and now it looks like, guys, come on.
Weekend rebuild.
We have the CyberKongz guys in the house. Guys, one more time, Buff. This is not what, one more time if we show it, this is not what the city usually looks like. We lost many lads. There's a lot of packs buried under there. This is not what we look like.
This is not our city. This is not it. But credit cards, I mean...
You're killing me, Smalls!
You're absolutely killing me, Smalls. We must rebuild. Thank you, Llama. Thank you, Llama. We will rebuild.
Yep.
Anyways, for those of you that took part in that, thank you for that. Anyways, those that took part in that MLB sale yesterday, I was one of those poor souls. I was able to crawl out of the rubble, but we will talk about that today later on in the episode. Shout out to the CyberKongz guys that we have in the chat. I know CryptoLander's a big proponent of what you guys have going on. We're going to cover some of your guys' things today. I will pull up something that happened last week. We had a wax sale that didn't completely destroy the city. We had the Boys of Summer and their Sandbox sale, right, Buffalo?
Yeah. You know, the Sandbox guys, right? The Boys of Summer, the Boys of the Sand. I can't believe I said that again. Like this whole weekend, I held my head down in shame. But you know what happens? The Sandlot, amazing movie. If you didn't watch it, it was playing for over 16 hours in LADZ City after the end of LADZ City Radio. Oh, man of my word, when I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And the LADZ movie theater opened up, and their doors are open, and you could reserve any seat you wanted, and you got to watch it. And I know a lot of people around different countries got to watch it and see what the hell we were talking about. It's a great flick. Some people really liked it.
Yeah, if you guys want to check that out, we had the Sandlot guys on the episode last week on NFT Live, so you should be able to see that within our YouTube channel there. They were awesome. They were great, and it makes me want to, or at least it makes me feel a lot better about owning these long term, right? If we didn't talk to Grant, if we didn't get a chance to talk to Victor, I maybe would say, okay, this is kind of a run and gun, right? But they did such a great job explaining everything behind this project, all the different assets that they were kind of having in these cards, all the different collectibles, and I feel really great about these long term. Like these are going to be long term holds for me. They did a really great job with some of the explanations here, as you can kind of see up on the screen, and they kind of added their own commentary, if you will, to a lot of these solo. Or the pictures that never made it into the production, essentially. So behind the scenes stuff, you can see I got a foil Hercules here. And for those of you who don't know, 3 Hercules, by the way. I completely missed that while we were live. You know, my heart was pounding. So there were 3 dogs used to play the beast. 3 dogs to play Hercules there. But really cool stuff. As you can see, this is part of my collection. I bought 2 packs of the larger packs and was able to get some really cool collection pieces here that I'm going to value for a long time. Especially, I think my best piece right here is the treehouse piece with the signatures of all the guys now. So really cool stuff, man. I'm super stoked. And they said they were going to have another release down the road, so I will be a purchaser there. Hopefully, we can have maybe the whole squad on again, and we can.
Squad? Oh my god, dude! That would be a mess if it's every one of them. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So this is what we've got. We've got the episode preview here today. Like I said, we're going to touch on CyberKongz. That's going to be. We're going to make you wait a little bit, CyberKongz guys. We're going to make you wait. So we have that later in the episode, but we are going to touch on Coingecko doing NFT spotlights. We are going to hit the WAX MLB sale and a little bit of the stats behind that. Sandbox is converting premium to regular land. Unicly is doing some cool things with fractionalized NFTs. Looks like Aavegotchi and CryptoPunks are doing super well over there. We have a virtual reality race, the first of its kind. Salt and Satoshi Magnus is a part of this project. They're doing a lot of cool stuff with Digi-Physical goods. Dark Country adding land, and then we're gonna hop up out of here. But that is a packed episode, man. So we are going to get started. But I believe you want to talk a little bit about LADZ Day. We have a packed Friday. If you don't know about it yet.
I mean, why not? You know, there goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. LADZ Day. LADZ Day is every Friday to some of you peeps, and to the rest of you, it's LADZ Day. It's literally going to be a non-stop content festival every end of the week here in LADZ City, and this week we have ourselves a special lineup. We're going to start with NFT Live, and then we're going to have Easy Street. And then right after that, we're going to have NFT Arcade. Then we're going to wrap it up with LADZ City Radio, which is going to go on for 2 to 3 to maybe 500 hours. There's no really end to it. It really is just how long do you want to keep dancing, and the music, as you always know, can stick with your heart and in your head for the rest of that weekend. I have been getting some requests from some DJs that want to come on board, so LADZ City Radio will be expanding. There's no real timeline on that, but soon is a popular word in this space, and I'm going to use it right now. And I think it's one thing to just let you guys know that you do not want to miss it this week. We have 3 guests on LADZ City Radio, and one of them is a major lad that has somebody that, to me, is just unique with LADZ City. And Q, you know this too, right? We don't know every one of you guys. There's a lot of people that stay anonymous. I respect that. And there's some lads that we just, you see their username a bunch. You never really hear from them. One day you finally get an audio chat with them or a video chat, and you find out who they really are. So I'm very excited to reveal that on Friday, the special guest that I'll be interviewing about their NFT launch. But you just don't know who's in here, Q. I have a feeling Satoshi's hanging around here, man. I'm telling you. I got a feeling.
We had some names that we kind of threw out there. I think we were thinking Steve Aoki is in LADZ City. That would be a great spot for a club district in LADZ City, maybe. I don't know. But Steve Aoki, if you're out there, contact us. Let us know if you're in LADZ City. We'll get you set up right, and we definitely will wait to clean up the city a little bit before we send you to like any part of that north side. Where is the NFT district in LADZ City, by the way? Is it north, south, west?
It's east of Easy Street and west of D. I don't know, man. I get lost every time. I hang out by the dollhouse. There's a lot of traffic. I'm literally in the middle of the road right now. But
Wolf only knows the dollhouse in that weird part of the city, like out on the outskirts where the no-tell motel actually is. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been there.
Yeah, you can't tell them about it. But before we hop into this episode, the last thing I want to talk about, quick little something for you guys. We had Cometh and Cometh Swap on the Layer 1 podcast. We brought the Layer 1 podcast, and it is live. So we did that this week with Cometh and Jerome. He is the chief economics guy over there at Cometh. But this is a really cool NFT and DeFi project. They essentially partner with these different projects, right? You see Alchemist, you see Badger, Pickle Finance, Meme, and they release NFTs based on being in DeFi pools. So the only thing I can really say here is there's going to be an announcement made in, I would say, like the next 7 days about a really awesome DEX that's going to be coming to Cometh and Cometh Swap. Obviously, they have that layer 2 on Polygon where you can make different swaps, and it actually plays into the game. So fees earned from this Cometh Swap actually play back in. As you can see, I just clicked out, and it plays back into Cometh the game. So Jerome told me that. I can't tell you guys too much about that, but it's a really large DEX, and it's going to be awesome to see that announcement come. If you want to learn more about this, we just had him on the podcast yesterday. Definitely take a look. But I think it is about time to get to the episode. We will pop back here, and I'll touch on some of these comments. It looks like Llama was first, Hash was second, Danny Boy's in the house, Joanless, Sebastian, STC, of course, Crypto Stamina, Easy in Crypto, Coin Hunter, Choina is in the absolute house. One of the only people in LADZ City to actually be an NFT themselves, by the way. Oh. And then we have Jacob, Carrots, Asmodai, Tigbo, and we will get started here, man. Did you see any other comments there? I see
Kong Strong comments, man. First off, there is poker as well. My apologies to XPOW. Maybe it's just because I'm butthurt that I can't make the final table anymore after I won a couple weeks back. But there is poker. There's an open poker tournament on Fridays. And then Saturdays, if you are a Guardian or above, I believe, you can participate in a seasonal tournament where you get points for your placement each time you win or lose. It's a great time. I don't know, man. I just keep sucking at poker. I've noticed you haven't been at the tables lately. You getting a little... poker hate too, or what's going on there, my man?
Listen, I can't go to the dollhouse for certain reasons, and I also can't participate on Saturdays for certain reasons.
That's why your face is on the wall when I walk in the door. I was wondering about that. I thought you won a contest. Apparently, it's do not serve this man.
Yeah. I've got people watching this show, Buffalo.
Really?
We
People
can't make them.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, we've got about 50 people in the house. But guys, thank you for popping along here. We do have about, I believe, 53 of you guys in the house. So really excited to be bringing you guys the news. And we are going to start with possibly the biggest news of the week. We were juggling a little bit, but I do have Coingecko joining the NFT space here. So obviously Coingecko has they're pretty much like price aggregation across the entire crypto space. They've done some cool things where they've added like a specific NFT section, but they're actually going into the NFT spotlight here and working with different NFT artists. A little bit of me is like, hey, Gecko, kind of stay in your lane here. But within this wall of text, basically what they're going to be doing is highlighting different artists that are going to have, in a very meme-esque way, they're going to have NFT drops on the platform. Right, so you can kind of see Sven's previous arts here. There's the meme drop as well, and then you actually have the Gecko drops here at the bottom. So these are the drops that are going to be via Coingecko, and I'm going to go back up and see what the platform actually looks like. But you can see Sven's 5 of 5, Sven's 1,000 of 1,000, and you can kind of see those pieces there. I'm going to quickly scroll back up to the top. Don't hate on me, Buffalo. And then we're going to see that they're going to be using it looks like OpenSea for these. So Coingecko's getting in the game. I don't know if you got any thoughts there, Buff, but they are working with Sven, who was actually one of the first artists to hop on the meme platform. So kind of cool. A little bit of, in my opinion, stay in your lane, but whatever.
Everybody's getting into NFTs. There was a celebrity, a social influencer, Jake Paul, that battled a retired MMA fighter this Saturday. And how did they start that show? They said, guess what? You can buy the last fight for $1 million or $10 million, and then you can get the NFT of the last 30 seconds of the fight that was not even happening yet later on that night. And when I heard that, I was just like, oh, dear God. Here we go, and I don't know if anybody bought it. It was a simple form too. It looked like a little email opt-in form and says, hey, if you got $10 million, fill out this form. So a little cringe and janky on that side, but definitely everyone's getting into the space. I'm seeing a lot of DeFi projects that are just saying, oh, guess what? We do NFTs now and stuff too. It's like, again, stay in your lane, stay with what you got. And, if you are adopting NFTs, you best do it right or you're really going to lose your core audience. It's just my sense.
Yeah, 100%. And we actually have the NFT section of the website, and you can see that they're highlighting that in some type of banner form here at the top. If we go to view, it'll likely take us back to where we were, and then we can kind of see it on OpenSea here. And I'm sure that sale is about to be ongoing, if not. So nothing yet, but they're going to open that up here in the next couple days. So really cool stuff, man. I mean, again, why not do it if you're Coingecko? You've got the user base via probably the most trafficked website other than CoinMarketCap in crypto. So why not take that and run with it? So shout out to Bobby Young over there at Coingecko. All right, one last time, I'm going to get to some of these comments here in the chat. Guys, CyberKongz, guys, we are going to get to you. I promise we're going to make you wait, though. We're going to make you wish you didn't show up to NFT Live this early. How yeah, exactly. How dare you? Okay, guys, for those of you that hopped in late and didn't see the beginning of this episode, I'm gonna have Buffalo one last time show you the remnants of what happened yesterday in this WAX MLB sale. That is the NFT district in LADZ City, and there are a lot of lads still on the ground. So we need to rebuild. We will rebuild, but we did have a situation with the WAX sale yesterday, and the music is, guys, the music is there. I don't know. It's just like blaring across the city for whatever reason. We have that locked into the system, but guys, we love the WAX team. We, have had many talks with Jassy and the group over there. We think they're doing a good job. But yesterday was tough on a lot of people. That we were set to go live for this WAX sale, a sale day for the MLB portion here. It didn't end up happening, which is perfectly fine. We'll be covering sales for WAX in the future. But man, am I happy that I was not on stream to be called an asshole 50,000 times by a rando looking to get his MLB cards. So we'll go into it here in a sec. Buff, what are your thoughts generally about yesterday?
I had a stream right as that sale went, so I was doing a live stream for Microsoft, so I couldn't participate. And I love baseball, and it sucks to see it. I mean, I know if credit card companies and the whole, I mean, trying to get a lot of purchases done, I can see that being definitely a problem. But I believe with Top Shot, can't you buy with credit card or debit card? They seem to have that dialed in. Is this just a thing they'll get fixed here down the road? Or, I mean, honestly, don't know how the process went.
Yeah, so let's go live then. And I do see some comments I want to touch on that are kind of worrisome, but I'm going to go live. I'm going to pull up my screen here, Buff. We can go into the WAX blockchain Discord here. There's a lot of text, but bear with me. We have the stress test that went on beforehand. The stress test went off without much of a hitch, but we're really talking about yesterday, right? And basically right here, Marty from over there, the community manager at WAX, is talking to us about the sale. So he's talking about moving initially the sale back 30 minutes, which was the case. The sale was set to go live, and they moved it back 30. And then there was a price mismatch stripe chain, and a lot of this had to do with some credit card providers. Stripe essentially was that credit card provider, and basically people couldn't get their packs. Like if you want to get it down to it, and I was one of them. You were putting in your information, and it didn't work. And we've seen that before in a lot of different sales across the NFT industry, right? Especially some sales that we've covered on WAX, but that's not really a problem. The issue was then that people were actually getting charged their credit card. It wasn't just kind of bouncing and then canceled and then you can go back. It was showing an error over and over again, but it was actually being charged. And I know there are guys in the chat that this happened to, myself included. You were getting charged, and then you ended up getting your packs, but you didn't know that was going to happen. So basically, the team again came back on Discord and said all Topps MLB packs have been sold. You'll be refunded automatically, and all of these different things. So unboxing happened. I'm sure there were people that felt really good about the stuff that they got, but it was a lot. It was a lot that happened. People were upset. I did see a comment in I think it was Hubber Snacks. Let me make sure I'm getting the right person. Yeah, Hubber Snacks is saying people who opened first got the lowest serials. He said they didn't have the serial set up right, and that wasn't supposed to be the case. So if anyone can confirm that, I would love to know, because they were supposed to be all pre-minted. So that would just be honestly a shot to the gut if that actually was the case. I haven't really followed up, but guys, you can see the comments following along that from people who were taking part in this sale. So glad we had some survivors from that incident yesterday. But what do you got, Buff?
I get curious too, where I know they're trying to get as many people to purchase, especially new adopters who don't understand how to get the WAX token. But you have a token. Why are we not using that token for the packages? And I know that I think we've talked to somebody through WAX about that too, where there's slippage and they don't want a bunch of people coming in and buying the token just for the sale and then dropping. But again, then what's the token for? It's a head scratcher, but at the same time, hopefully they can get this fixed out. I mean, maybe they just didn't, I mean, it's a huge thing. Tops in baseball is a big thing. So maybe they learned a lot from this and they're going to work on that structure for their next sale. So for me, I try not to bash anybody too much as you're moving as the first movers. So, I still tip my cap to WAX for making the attempt and hopefully making everything right as we move forward.
Yeah, and we have one last comment here I want to pull up on the screen, Buff, from Robert. This was kind of not a post-mortem, but just a recap. He was saying, hey, everyone, this was our biggest sale to date, and it sold out in a very short period of time. And with that came some new issues that our engineers were working to fix in real time. So pack orders could not be processed. We were initially rate limited when processing payments. They're around 1.2K requests per second, and that caused some orders to get pushed. So, yeah, I mean, they're dealing with a lot. They're definitely pushing the envelope as it comes to kind of being a first mover here, and I generally believe in WAX long term, so we'll be following it. I didn't end up. I know I said I did, but I think I just got caught up on my words there. I didn't end up getting any packs on this drop, and I would have loved to. MLB is something that I'm interested in. Although, if this happened and it was an NFL drop, I would be super upset. I am generally upset that I didn't get any packs on this drop, but we will just follow WAX long term and continue to participate in the drops that we can.
Now, when you didn't, how many times did you try? Were you just trying once and didn't go through and you were waiting, or?
Must have been 6. Must have been 6 on like $300, $400 purchases. about 6 different times. So if those all went through, you can imagine you're getting charged. And there were lads that were going higher bids than I was, right? Yeah. They're spending 1K a pop and do that 8 times because you think it's not going through, and then it gets charged. So that was the first time we've had that specific issue where it actually looked like on the back end in your bank that they were actually getting charged and not coming through. So that was kind of the issue there. So still no confirmation here in the chat. I know Hubbersnacks was saying that some were not pre-minted, where the first openers were able to open and get some low mints. That's not confirmed, but we do have that. And Street Fighter is another good example of a wax drop that went super well. I thought the Street Fighter drop had those initial hiccups that we're used to. Like if you don't expect that by now when you're doing wax drops, then you shouldn't take part. But they had those initial maybe 30-second issues and no problems after that. Yeah. And I think people were generally happy. So that was pretty much it from the WAX MLB sale. I've got Crypto Slam that I can pull up. I have also, I want to throw this the community's way. What was the amount that was raised? Because right here, if you can see it, if I zoom out to 7 days, because you're not getting the total amount if you do 24 hours. Topps MLB secondary market sales are about $2 million. So it looks like 7 days CryptoPunks is absolutely killing it, but Topps is getting in that top 5 there, which is good to see if you are interested in this drop. The longevity you would think would be pretty strong with a brand like MLB, so the liquidity there of buying and selling packs should be strong long term. We see about 75,000 transactions, 6,000 buyers. Then if we zoom in, you can kind of get a good look, but it doesn't give you the full look again, right? We see 1.6 instead of 2, but you can see in that time, there were a good amount of buyers, good amount of transactions coming through. And that basically tells you. I would love to know what they raised though. I didn't get any type of like cap on how many were sold. We know what the prices were, but we didn't get a cap on what they actually sold on a card or a pack basis. So would love that info, but that is kind of the recap there on the MLB drop. I'll be following it long term. Buff, did you get any Seattle Mariners in the secondary market, man?
I looked at the secondary market, and I mean some of those backdrops and things, because a lot of people are selling the ones that don't have the most amazing, foils or anything like that. And so yeah, I have not scooped any yet, but I feel like my Mariners, even though they are in first place right now, shout out to my boys. They're still being a little overpriced. I'll wait for it to cool off before I probably scoop some up. But I will scoop some up. I'll probably scoop up some unopened packs as well for giveaways for LADZ Radio and whatnot. But yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. Great comments, by the way, guys. Keep them coming. Oh My Coins is commenting on CryptoPunks a little bit, saying that maybe the distribution isn't very democratic. You can see the buyer numbers there. You could see when I had Crypto Slam up. But anyways, we will continue to move on. Sandbox is, I guess, looking to... So Sandbox is selling a shit ton of land. Let's just first of all say that like right off the bat. They've already sold a large chunk of land over the past year. And I think it is a little bit more than a year. I remember, Buff, me and you got in on the second sale that had a certain amount of discount for some land. And that sale was about in February, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been at this for more than a year. They've been steadily developing. But it looks like this last land sale, it was a little bit rich, although they did raise, I believe, 5.9 million total. It looks like they still had some premium lands. And really the only difference between premium and regular land is the NFTs within them. So you could purchase premium land and get NFTs. Well, it looks like they're actually going to be converting that to any unsold premium lands, essentially, are going to be changed into regular land and will be still available for sale with 22 hours. So basically that'll drive the price down for those land pieces, and it will actually burn the NFTs and make the NFTs that people got up to this point more scarce.
Yeah, I like that part because it is rewarding. People are holding, but every landowner doesn't want to see any more land sales. They want to get to it. The roadmap kind of said Q1 that things were going to start happening, and now we're seeing Q2 more lands going on sale. And I know you got burned when you bought a piece of land that was on the edge next to the Roller Coaster Tycoon. And now there's a whole giant district right behind you there. And there's actually some land not too far away from there. I was actually thinking of buying one just to troll you and be like, hey, look, I'm in that new area that didn't exist when you bought land. But yeah.
Those land pieces, your land piece, by the way, is that open for sale, like OTC? If someone contacted you and said, "Hey, I want to buy that
They'd have
piece,"
to
is
pay
that
me a lot because right now, and you're really transitioning to a great little moment here, we have formed the LADZ Metaverse Builders Group. And we just hired our foreman, Small Town Cowboy. Shout out to my man, Small Town Cowboy, out of Scotland. He's going to be taking over as the foreman. He's really going to be putting the team together. If you love the metaverse and you want to get in on any of these that we're building of LAD City and all these different metaverses, we have 2 Sandbox plots there. 3, actually. I mean, Q's got the Roller Coaster Tycoon one as well. And I plan on building, honestly, with the Atari one, and then also have Vulcanverse as well. So we're going to be forming a team here of people all around the world that can help develop LAD City and all these metaverses. And Small Town Cowboy will be the foreman to get started. And if you've never been a part of one and you just want to learn about it, come on in. We're gonna form the team. We'll form a channel, and we'll have our first little AMA session here in the following weeks. But it's very exciting with the land that we do on. Let's start building on it. Let's get it together. I know me and you, we went through the Sandbox, kind of game maker fund. We got about 80% through, and they kind of had to put the halt on it as had bigger issues to deal with developing LAD City. So I think now it's the time, if we have a team together, we can start putting that land to work.
Yeah, shout out to Small Town Cowboy there. They've been doing a great job. If I can bring up while Buffalo's kind of going through some of the comments or in the future going through some of these comments on the stories, I can go into Twitter and find a link and try to take us through what's being built up to this point, because it's definitely great to get a visual there as well. Okay, guys, we have 60 of you in the house. Asmodai is pushing back a little bit on our Sandbox comments here. He said the land sales were always known, so there was always going to be amount. I would agree with that. Like they definitely kind of came forward and said these are the sales that are always going to happen. It's more the timeline of it taking place. I'm sure a lot of people didn't know what they were getting into. When they initially bought the land, a year ago, and didn't know, hey, initially this is going to be whitelisted, yada, yada, yada. But I'm super excited to work within that space. STC is going to be doing a great job. Shout out to Asmodai as well. Both of them were instrumental in getting LAD City in the Uplift world set up. So can't wait to move that to the Sandbox, man. I really can't. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait for all these different metaverses, man. I feel like one truly is going to be ideal for us to create avatars that we really spend a lot of time in, that has the cyberpunk vibe of our backgrounds right now. And of course, Sandbox has got its own Lego Minecraft kind of vibe, and Vulcanverse is medieval, and Uplift is of course Minecraft. So each one right now has got its own little vibe. But I know there's so many more down the road, and of course with VR, I just look at everything changing right now. You think of your browser as a 2D experience as you're going through websites. Well, soon everything's going to be a 3D experience or virtual experience, where websites will be a kind of just a basic form, and then you'll have a plot to really go into a website. You would go into the metaverse, and they would draw you in with all these like landing pages would be the welcoming room and different tiers. And I look forward to all that. I mean, that's just next level of really getting to express, first of all, what your project is, and then for the customer or just the participant to really kind of feel that vibe out when they come onto your land and see what you're all about.
Amazing kind of breakdown of what it's going to look like in LAD City. That is the vision, and we're excited to make it happen. So I'm going to transition. I'm going to skip around a little bit, Buff. We're going to talk about the world's first, and this is just going to be a quick story, world's first virtual reality NFT car race in Somnium. So you guys know about Crypto Motors. If you don't, you need to. They've been on the forefront of creating some really cool NFT assets within the virtual space that Buffalo's talking about. So there's actually going to be the world's first VR NFT car race here in Somnium space. You see the tweet here. And they are going to have a start, a finish. It's going to be gamified. So it's going to be awesome to actually see this. There's a VR option. I believe there's a non-VR mode as well, where you can watch this. Is going to be Friday, April 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern, Buff. That's kind of around NFT Live. That's definitely on LADZ Day. I will say that.
Yep.
So maybe we can all kind of start that off maybe in Discord and watch that together. But that would be a really cool spot, maybe even to start NFT Live. What if we started NFT Live on Friday from this race?
Yeah, I wonder how long the race is going to last, because that's an hour and a half before we usually go on. But yeah, either we can recap the race, but we can watch it live in LAD City. I'm all about that. We had our own little race in the Sandbox back in the day. We had like 10 of us that ended up racing. I can't remember who won. Was it Easy and Crypto who ended up winning that one?
That I believe it was easy, and that was an absolute OG of a race. So if you ever got that again, that would be amazing. Oh, maybe we'll pull that up this Friday. But yeah, so we have that going on. Somnium Space first VR NFT car race. That is going to be awesome. Crypto Motors is doing some cool things. I remember them building a year ago, even 2 years in crypto voxels, and thinking, man, this is way too soon. Like they're building high end NFTs. They have the whole car shop. Like they're trying to be the Audi essentially, or Lamborghini, if you will, of the NFT car space. I know that even sounds weird coming out of your mouth at this point, but in 5 years, that's going to be very commonplace to try to have this NFT car that you can roll around in the metaverse from a specific brand. Crypto Motors trying to establish itself as that brand. So really cool stuff, man. Hopefully we can get them on maybe one day and see everything they have to offer. So
I love it too, man. You think about this, they could put something of high value up for this race, right? And then you could have a plot in Somnium Space, and you're just sitting there in your plot chilling, and all of a sudden this speed of race goes by, and you're like, what the hell is going on right now? And you're on the stream, it's the whole thing.
I love it.
I'm all about that, man. I'm all about that.
Love it, love it. Great visual there, man. You're coming through with some major visuals. So I'm going to get to the next story. Listen, we got the CyberKongz guys here. The Crypto Lander's done a great job of getting that community kind of riled up to come on to NFT Live. So we're definitely excited to have you guys here, and we're going to touch on some CyberKongz for you guys here today. So I'm actually going to hop into their Discord here and kind of go into. Actually, let me start here with their website. So CyberKongz really was birthed out of this last NFT cycle. We had the pixelated NFT art that was seen, and there's definitely a lot of value just in the pixelated art themselves, but they're really trying to do a good job of taking the community that's been formed, taking this platform that's been formed with the pixelated CyberKongz that you see here, and actually making utility based out of this. So you basically what you'll have is the owners of CyberKongz will in the future be able to do things, in the future being now, do things with the ownership of these assets. So two of the biggest things that they're doing right now, it seems like, and please guys, fill me in as well. You guys seem to be an awesome group, so fill me in with what's going on. But we're having a migration of some of these CyberKongz that are going to be rewarded bananas, which are essentially going to be the utility token past the actual non-fungible tokens. You actually now have the fungible token banana, of which you can see the price action a little bit here. So we see this at like $2.30 at this point, and you're actually getting yield, right? For owning these CyberKongz, you're actually getting bananas. So there were some announcements in the Discord about this migration. I believe there was 300 bananas up for specifically this migration. So I love the NFT Live shout out. Right. Thank you guys. But if we go back up, you can see this migration in real time. Looks like Dearest Kong brothers and sisters. The great migration of Kongs is about to take place. Every holder of a Genesis CyberKong is now able to migrate through our website. Each Kong that migrates individually will collect 300 banana. So you see all this utility being built out, and I'm sure in the future there's going to be a lot of different things. Another thing that they're really working on is the actual breeding of Kongs. So you can take the Genesis Kongs again and now breed baby Kongs. I definitely got that name wrong, but the idea still applies, right? You can now breed these different Kongs to create even more NFT assets. So love this idea that you can have a community that originally stems out of one thing and can start to do other things because they're forming together as a community, likely because they have some treasury assets. Either that's through the NFT sales that they've done as a CyberKongz team or through the banana token. That is decentralized finance. That is the formation of DAOs. And I'm sure they got some really cool guys in that group as well. So shout out to you guys.
I love seeing that, man. I think it's creative too. And you're taking the next, part of utility in there, but also forming just a whole community that's active and growing within all the layers that crypto is allowing now. So peel back that banana, man. Let's do it. I like the whole vibe of CyberKongz, and shout out to Crypto Lander, who first introduced me to him. And
yeah. We got a lot of like pseudo. I think we got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? Basically we have some lads that are CyberKongz community members as well. I'm seeing a lot of Kong strong OVOT in the chat. Maybe one day we can get a Kongz themed lad. Love that idea. I know Cometh Swap was looking at us to do some things there as well, but CyberKongz absolutely taking over. The other thing is the increase has obviously really helped the community, the increase in price, right? You see OpenSea, they were able to kind of launch directly in the center of that vortex, which was the NFT cycle here over the last 2 months. Let's see if we can't go to OpenSea. And guys, let us know where we should be headed. I'm sure Lander can hit me up with any links that we have. But I'm going to try to get as much information, and hopefully I don't miss anything here. I'm going to take us into OpenSea. And again, guys, let us know. So, there you go. There's the baby Kongs that are being breeded. That is freaking cool. That is dope. So we can see, again, average prices. I'm not really, I don't know the floor price. I'm not sure of this average price, but really wanted to cover this community. Really wanted to cover that migration as well as the banana token, which is live now. So Kong strong. And there's initial Kong offering buff there. What isn't happening in CyberKong's metaverse right now?
Everything, man. Yeah, I love it. The vibe, and we got all the Kongs in here too. I can see a collaboration in the making right now. And we just had that Godzilla versus Kong movie too. I don't know if you checked that one out. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so we're seeing some Kongs here sell for 0.5. Some of these baby Kongs, which are the yield for owning some Kongs you could actually, again, breed, they're being sold for 0.749 ETH. So really awesome stuff here from if you're in CyberKongz early, if you own those Genesis Kongs, now you're able to have some yield there. So 0.35 is the floor. Crypto Stamina is telling me. I don't have any information yet on this initial Kong offering, but I would definitely love to get some. I'm going to try to find some. If Lander can send me those links, we can definitely get to it. Otherwise, that is basically the story here. So Lads and Kongs are definitely blowing up the chat right now, man. 10 nanners per day per Kong, I'm being told. Looks like Gorilla's saying, I want the banana token, which is an absolute shocker that some guy named Gorilla wants a banana. And Kongs makes a game, please. That could be there. Man. Cool stuff. I did not expect to get to all this in the chat right now, but you guys are absolutely killing it, and we will continue on. I think I just got a ping from Lander. Oh, nope. No ping yet. So initial Kong offering to be determined here. So shout out there. Anything else on this one, Buff?
I like the IKO, man. Initial Kong offering. I think that's going to be something that they and only they can say. So it's awesome.
My man. Love it, man. All right, Kong strong, 10 nanners per day. So I'm seeing there. Then you got about $25 a day that you're being able to yield. Shout out to the Kong strong team. And maybe we can get these guys on NFT Live. We'll see as well. So let's hop out of CyberKongz here. Again, thank you to that community for coming on over. We're going to hit on Unicly. Unicly is slowly but steadily becoming one of the more active projects, I think, in the NFT space. They've been a little bit under the radar. There are some points in the story that we're about to get to that are interesting. So Unicly is essentially allowing you to fractionalize NFTs. So TLDR, fractionalize NFTs. If you can't own one CryptoPunk, maybe you can own one UPunk and be able to participate in this kind of gains, right? In these type of gains. So all of these UPunks, these are basically quote unquote tokens that represent a ownership in a collection. So again, we'll hop into Unicly. If I'm bringing you too fast down the rabbit hole, Buff, let me know. But we will continue to go through here. They have a Uniswap setup, essentially. Let me see if I can get in here. Okay, so you can see UPunk. You can see the amount of liquidity in the pool. You can see the amount I own, which is sadly none. And then you can see the collection of punks within it, right? Okay. So you can own UPunk and participate in a in a punk collection, a CryptoPunks collection. I'm sure we can get a CyberKongz collection set up here, and people, instead of owning the actual NFT pieces, can own fungible tokens that represent it. The piece here that's interesting, man, is if you were in Unicly early. I mean, look at in the past 24 hours what the Genesis collection has done. This type of movement, 400% in the last 24 hours here on the Unicly Genesis collection. So this platform is taking off. I'll go into the different pools here in a second. Let's see if we can't get to it. They have a really cool interface here. You can see, okay, so we got Aavegotchi set up. We've got Doki, we've got Hashmass, CryptoPunks, Axes. You see that Genesis collection there, and you see the different liquidity set up. So this is decentralized finance, this is NFTs, and this is a combination of both. So I know sometimes that can get a little bit complicated, that can get a little bit in the weeds, but essentially what you need to know here is you can, within a Uniswap type app, which I'll go directly to their trading, right? Within a Uniswap type app, you can then just trade, right? Okay, I've got ETH here, and then I can actually buy Aavegotchi, I can buy CyberKongz, and then you can participate in these type of gains. So not investment advice whatsoever. You guys know to do your own research, but Unicly is definitely one that we're watching here. And some of these stories actually have to do, we'll touch on some of these stories. But what do you think, Buff, as we hop out and I go into some of the specific stories as it's related to Unicly?
Yeah, definitely a breakdown for anyone, like myself included, who's trying to figure this out. So essentially, if I missed out on CyberPunks, which sadly I did, I could get involved in essentially a sharding type of value evaluation for that, or how exactly are these modeled for value?
Ask that question one more time.
I already forgot what I had. No, I'm just playing. So, like, is this essentially if I missed out on CyberKongz or CryptoPunks? So if I got like a UPunk token, what is that backed by? What is that exactly? You know, what's the purpose of it?
So any question that you're asking there is asked for the NFT piece itself. It has nothing to do with the fractionalization. It has nothing to do with that. All you're doing with fractionalization is actually breaking the ownership down. So the question that you just asked me, what is the value of this, all this stuff, that would be something you have to go to the CyberKongz team and say, what's the value of me owning this NFT? At the fractionalization level, all you're doing is splitting the ownership up. Does that make sense? So let's say CyberKongz team comes back and says, you know what? Owning this is going to allow you to get access to a gold doubloon worth $1 million, right? Then yeah, you're in, and now you want to buy, there's some utility added. The fractionalization piece is just the ability to buy and sell that within a fungible environment. Mm-hmm. Does that kind of make sense? So all you're doing there, the value is the asset itself. Now you're just breaking the thing into pieces, mm-hmm. and you're able to trade that more fungibly than you are. If you want to speculate on NFT assets, it's hard to speculate. I know there's a lot of guys in the chat right now that probably bought up some NFTs that they can't sell. If you break this into pieces, so instead of having an Aavegotchi that you need to sell, you can now have a liquid asset that allows you to buy and sell Aavegotchi. Then you see kind of what I'm getting at. Oh, I think Gotchi could be a really good project. Boom, I can get in and out of Gotchi super quick.
Right.
As opposed to me trying to find a buyer for my specific NFT.
Gotcha. This kind of makes me feel, and I don't want to step out of bounds here, but it's kind of like a bit clout, right? With the celebrity value of each celebrity, but there's no, of course, celebrity NFT that is essentially what you're, valuing that at, right? But it does have that kind of feeling where it's just another layer for people that aren't truly in it that can speculate, being outside of the actual room that the party's going on in.
I'll answer the question by first saying BitClout would be a dope project if it did have withdrawals, if it wasn't as shady as it was. It has nothing to do with the actual utility of the platform. Being able to buy and sell shares of people should be a thing. The BitClout thing is, it's only in Bitcoin and it's only one way.
Yeah.
So sure. That's where I get a little bit shady with the BitClout. But dude, keep asking. These are awesome questions, by the way. And I think we have some others. Some people talked about B20. There's definitely something to be said about B20, and there's some cloak and dagger stuff that goes on with a lot of it's crypto. There's people that are on the ins, there are people on the outs. Did people on the ins know that if they pushed the project up a certain amount, and I think there was something about Metacovan actually cashing out B20 to actually purchase Beeple pieces. So it was like this freaking inception thing of the guy who created the B20 was able to cash some of it out and then buy the Beeple piece, which pushed the price up further. It was a very interesting story there with B20, and I know a lot of people bought around these and are hurting. But I mean, B20, you're essentially kind of buying into it is a lot like BitClout, man, because you're almost buying into the reputation of Beeple.
Yeah.
Right. And Beeple's reputation isn't as strong as it was in the big time NFT cycle we saw. So I'm gonna hit some of these questions, but definitely keep them coming, Buff. Loved breaking that down. And this is the future. This is going to continue into the future, and in that time frame of present to future, there's opportunities to take part in things like this. Again, not investment advice whatsoever, but if you understand some of these games that are being played, then you can take part, right? So again, future. There's some issues here with the front end, or I'm not doing it correctly. Let's see. So there's a little bit of discovery that you need to kind of go through, but within these pools, you can participate. So if you think Axes are going to really blow up, you have the potential to get in on an Axie-ish token instead of actually buying the Axes themselves. So I'll hit some of these comments. Let's see.
I like Marty's comment, making NFTs FTs.
There you go. Going back the other way. Yeah, going back the other way. Okay, I got a Carrot saying B20 connect. I got Hover saying as long as it behaves differently than B20. There's going to be a lot of that, man. It's on the fringes. You're dealing with people in the know and people, not in the know. So let's see. Asmodai's touching on a good portion with this, and Stamina is as well. Maybe NFTs are celebrities. Sorry, I asked the wrong question. So if someone buys out all the fractions the contract assigns you shared to claim. Fractionalized NFT buyouts confuse me. How different from NFTX? Listen, I can't speak on the buyout portion. I know that the buyouts are interesting. So if I have an NFT piece that I fractionalize and another guy buys 20% of it, how then do I ever get that back so that it can be sold on OpenSea potentially? Or like, how do you then find somebody with 100% ownership? That stuff is a little bit like down the rabbit hole, and we don't have time to cover it. But great questions. The buyout portion needs to be worked through and experimented with. How does Unicly compare to a project like Whale? Unicly is just the platform. Think of it as, the Whale is one token that could live within Unicly. So Unicly is the platform there. But really, damn, I know we got far down the rabbit hole, Buff, but I appreciate you pulling me out there a couple times.
I love jumping in there with you, man. I put on my little miner's hat with the little light, and we just go down into that rabbit hole. And sometimes I come out confused, and sometimes I come out a smarter buffalo. I feel like I'm a little in between.
Which one is this? Okay, a little bit in between.
Well, it's one of those. Yeah, everyone has what really excites them in this space. Speculation to me, there's a certain level I like about it, and now I feel like there's just another layer for spectators, speculators, and like BitClout. BitClout to me is just like, I'm not a huge fan of that. It's just it's kind of a gambling kind of style of whatnot. But for other people, like my boy Jay Promo, he's absolutely in love with that kind of thing, and he's crushing it. So to each their own, and no disrespect to anybody who goes the other way.
Absolutely, man. And the last point I want to touch on with this story before we hop out, Buff, if you can pull up my screen one more time. There were specifically on the CryptoPunk and the Aavegotchi story. There's actually tokens to be earned in this as well. So if you own essentially a Ghost, you could potentially earn some mining rewards, right? Or in Ghost form, in maybe the Unicly token itself. That is coming out relatively shortly. But as you can see, Unicly preparing a liquidity mining campaign for their governance token. So just something for you guys to jump into. I'll drop it there in the chat. Again, we're not going to be able to touch on everything, but we definitely want to get you guys that info. So Anyways, all right, so we are popping into our next story, guys. I'm going to fly through this here. We have Salt and Satoshi. So shout out to Magnus. We've given Salt and Satoshi a little bit of a plug here on the channel before, but they're doing Digi-Physical goods. I'm gonna be sitting down with Magnus this week. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of this, but essentially what they're doing is the Digi-Physical collections. So as you can see, Salt Seasons. If I click in here, it's going to take me to two specific assets that can be bought, and that's a little bit much for my taste for a hoodie. But I know MetaFactory was doing a Genesis bomber jacket for like 2 ETH back in the day. That if I bought it, they gave robot tokens, which is their governance token, in like a 2 or 3x format if you participated. Again, a lot of different things to work out there, but eventually they're going to build out this, so there's going to be a ton of different, whether it be hoodies, t-shirts, just general merchandise, and you'll be able to go down this entire page and take part in that. And there's a lot of things that go into that, but the Salty token is one thing I want to point you guys towards. Again, non-investment advice, do your own research, but the Salty token is going to be the token of Salt and Satoshi. So much in the same format as MetaFactory, who we can touch in here in a second. You can kind of get some examples here. So buyers can be rewarded in Salty. So if you purchase, again, one of these pieces, you're going to get Salty tokens. And then those Salty tokens are going to be used for voting within the DAO. They obviously have a financial value, or no one's going to say that, but that kind of is a feature there. But you can do interesting things, and it's up to the team at that point to create utility for this Salty token. But the big portion here within Salt and Satoshi is we're likely going to be talking with them at least about essentially setting up a season for our merchandise within LADZ. So boom, alpha drop for you guys there.
I'm excited to rock a LADZ hoodie, a LADZ hat, LADZ underwear, LADZ socks, LADZ sunglasses. You name it, brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna give. Let's not tell Salt and Satoshi that just yet. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to the MetaFactory team here. I have something is happening on this website here. So the MetaFactory team is here. They've got the same thing going on, right? As you can see, they've got the different merchandise. Again, Digi-Physical is the term here. And you'll be able to buy this and actually get robot tokens. So expect to see this genre, right? You can see this shop here. You see the sizes, kind of the traditional marketplace feel, but you actually get robot tokens for purchasing this. And you can then be part of the MetaFactory community and on down. Again, I'm not even going to say the word, but the hole that is made for rabbits. So that's really cool stuff, man. And shout out again to Magnus, who's helping build both of these. I believe he's in some way associated with both of these teams. And I'm excited to see the Salt and Satoshi platform. I think MetaFactory is built out a little bit more, and the token price, I believe, reflects that. If we can go in this MetaFactory, let's see, robot is probably what I should be. Yep. So robot and Salt and Satoshi will look like they're going to be in the same kind of realm here as it is related to market cap. So about 13 mil for robot, and Salty will be not even listed yet. So we will keep a little bit of eyes on that platform. So boom.
Hey, thanks again, guys, for the feedback. My mic got reset, so I lost some of my gain. So hopefully you guys are hearing me loud and clear now. Apologize for that.
Awesome. Okay, the last thing I want to point out is these pieces also come with the actual season pieces. So that Digi-Physical piece, I showed you guys the physical piece. There's actually a digital portion that comes with it that is obviously that can be bought and sold. So we go in here, you can kind of see that the price increments and the price, I believe that's ETH. And does it show there's the NFT piece. Boom. So you can kind of see the back of the actual piece here is actually in the NFT piece itself. Nice. So that's the Digi-Physical portion. But, all right. I think I gave Salt and Satoshi a good enough of shill there. I obviously don't own any tokens. I haven't purchased anything yet, but I think eventually down the line I will enjoy a Salt and Satoshi piece, and maybe the LADZ piece, like I said.
My man. I'm excited for it. I know like Teespring was a big project online where a lot of people were creating a lot of t-shirts and hoodies for each community and things now. And this is just, I totally see in this be, there's going to be so many different projects that we're going to take, projects and put it in the real world and on the blockchain so you can rock it both ways.
Yep. Shout out to Marty McFly as well, who is looking to do some in-house stuff for merch with LADZ. I think that's honestly, I think that's the road. We work with Salt and Satoshi, we work with MetaFactory, and then we eventually go in-house for some LADZ merchandise and cool shit like that. So shout out to Marty McFly there. And the last story I have here, Buff. Dark Country, the trading card game there on Ethereum, I believe, is adding a land aspect. So you're going to have the land aspect. Basically, they are going multi-chain, and every time they move to a different blockchain, there is a new continent that represents that particular blockchain. So Dark Country, there you can see it there. When new chains get added, a new continent appears, and on these continents, there will be lands given to players to access resources. Again, we're seeing a ton of DeFi and NFTs and the collaborations between the two. Every continent consists of 10,000 land, 4,000 will go to players, 6,000 will be used for in-game activities. So that's a quick piece of news there. A lot of guys have, Dark Country assets. Dark Country's been around for, I believe, about 6 months to a year there. And I think they're on WAX and they're on a couple other blockchains, but they are steadily moving into land sales as well as their continued movement with their trading card game. So that was just a quick piece there. You can kind of see some of the assets from their blog as we move forward.
Exciting. I love like new land too. I mean, hopefully it's not just a thing they're just rushing. They really thought it through. I'm guessing they did in this kind of space. It's land sales got to be thought out, and hopefully they don't just keep adding more and more land.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it. We did cover Dark Country actually, and they were on the, I believe, Ethereum blockchain at the time, but they are also doing WAX. So it looks like they're continuously moving to these different blockchains and then adding these land pieces. So, dude, there are so many different awesome projects in the NFT space right now. I appreciate the lads and what they do in our Discord because we just cannot cover all of these projects in real time and go deep on each one without you guys. So we try to do our best here, and we will be covering the Dark Country land sale as we go forward. But I mean, this is like a book in and of itself. So each project, 100 different projects trying to reach into each of these different detailed tokenomics pieces. It's just, it's easier together. So our vibe, our tribe there, man, for sure.
Well said. That is the value too that a lot of people don't realize within a social token community. We're in an emerging space. Information is so valuable. Alpha information is priceless that, when you have people in different time zones that put their research into projects, they follow it from the get-go, and then they come on into the city and say, hey, lads, listen up. Here's what I've seen. Here's what I got. You change lives doing that, and we're all change each other's lives, and we're all growing together and, making a little bit of the crypto together as well.
Absolutely, guys. Yep. I think that's the way to do it. And I know Hubbersnacks is saying that there's a lot of stuff on WAX. There definitely is. And I think a lot of lads are involved in these various projects, and you can see it in real time in the city. We get pushed a lot of WAX projects, and they're doing a good job. So, all right, Buff, do you want to hit what's going to happen the rest of the week? And then we will kind of hop out of here?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to be essentially Easy Street. He's usually on Thursdays. He's going to be moving to Friday. This might just be a special one-off as he gets prepared to go to a video stream format, which will be on YouTube. But he's going to, be doing Easy Street in between NFT Live. Then he'll go Easy Street. Then he'll go NFT Arcade with my boy Rage Cage. We have a special co-host coming in, another crypto gamer. There's not a lot of them yet. This is an emerging kind of space with crypto gaming. And it's a female out of the UK. I've almost said too much. I'll leave it at that. You're going to have to tune into the NFT Arcade. It's its third episode of its very first debut season. And look forward to that because me and Rage Cage, we definitely have a vision for where we're going to take the NFT Arcade.
So what you're saying, Buff, is that LADZ City is becoming Ladies City on Friday a little bit? Isn't that a little? It wasn't Caggy.
Yeah, that's
Caggy
right, man. I wish we had that clip right now. The first time Cage ever saw LADZ City, he called it Lady City, and I was like, Lady City. I was like, I like it. You can call it whatever you want. And LADZ, LADZ, could mean whatever you want. Like, look at that decentralized zebra, whatever you want LADZ to be. It's it's something special. Q, what does LADZ mean to you?
Look at decentralized zebra is definitely. It definitely does not mean that to me. So I will always tell the story. I will always tell the original story, which is again. I definitely agree that LADZ isn't this. It's more like the myth. But at the time, Seattle was going through that Chaz situation where they had that autonomous zone. I forgot Sentinel Hill or Capitol Hill.
Yeah. So I'm in Seattle, and it was I wasn't around when it was going down last year, but they had the Capitol Hill autonomous zone, Chaz.
Mm-hmm. So they had Chaz, and I think my buddy just hit me up one time, was like, dude, you guys should call it LADZ and have it be layer 1 autonomous digital zone. That is not going to be, that is not going to be the official, meaning for LADZ, but it will be in the lore. We'll just keep it in the lore section, in the library section of LADZ City, if you will.
Again, it's whatever it means to you, and so it's like, layer 1 autonomous decentralized zone, maybe a little better digital zone, but to each their own. And again, it is what it means to you here in the city. To me, the city is my home now. I spend more time in LADZ City than I do anywhere else, except hanging out with my dog, Mr. Bear. That was some little alpha, man. You don't really tell that story that often, too, so I kind of put you on the spot. I appreciate you telling a lot of the lads here who've been around, kind of wondering, oh, yeah, what the hell does the LADZ mean? And again, it means whatever it wants to mean to you, but yeah, at first it started here in Seattle, so hey, right on.
There's the tie-in, man. I love that, man. Yeah. We need to bring Bear into LADZ City. That's going to be the case. But I think we're going down again the road here. We want to stay on schedule. So again, guys, awesome time with this episode. CyberKongz, the tribe came in. The CyberKongz team came in here and was absolutely killing it. The community there. So shout out to Lander for bringing those guys in. Happy to cover you guys. Happy to have you on at a later date. But thank you guys for passing in here, and I think we are getting ready to hop off. So again, our Buff, let's take them to one more time. This is where I'm going to be after the episode. I'm going to be cleaning up this portion of the city. I'll be here after the episode. This looks like a lot of cleanup to be done in the NFT.
Well, that was the nighttime one. This is you. This is during the day now. You're overlooking what you're gonna have to do. Grab a mop and broom. It's gonna get crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. That doesn't look like we can rebuild.
The structural integrity is probably jeopardized in a majority of those buildings. But hey, in crypto, if it didn't work the first time, give it a shot the second time. All right.
Try again. Yes, guys, we will be back here on Friday for LADZ Day in a rebuilt LADZ City. Can't wait to see you guys, man. Our vibe, our tribe, we'll get on out of here. Thanks again.
Thank you, lads.